Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Oh, thank you so much for making the time to come here today. My channel is new. This is my first video. I'm nervous, but I'm hoping that I can get through this in one piece. So the name of my channel is Scent Solutions, and I created this channel because I love fragrances. I discovered my love for fragrances about 2 years ago, and to be honest, I'm obsessed with fragrances right now. Like, my favorite pastime is going to a perfume store and just, taking in the fragrances, seeing what's old, what's new, what I'm liking now, because I also see that my would I say my affinity for certain fragrances has evolved over time, and I see that somehow I don't particularly like some of the fragrances I liked 2 years ago. So I see that evolution happening. And so why I created this channel is because, as a newbie, I had so much inspiration. I got so much inspiration from several YouTube channels, Jeremy Fragrance, Karina Walder. I loved watching their channels. It was one of the things I would do when I'm cooking. I'll just watch and just take in their opinions on perfumes and all of that. And so as I go through this journey, I said, okay, why not? Why don't I build a community of perfume newbies? It could be people who are advanced in the game, who understand all the notes, understand everything about perfumes. It could be those who just want to find something new and experience fragrances from someone else's perspective. So I'll just welcome to my channel, and hopefully you enjoy my channel. Hopefully you subscribe. Hopefully you go with me on this ride through my would I say scent discovery or scent evolution. So let's go right into today's video. What do I want to show today? I was thinking, and I said, what kind of video do I want to start my channel with? And I decided to keep it simple. So today we're going to talk about 3 fragrances that I absolutely adore. Absolutely adore. And they are my top 3 female perfumes that you can't go wrong with. Now, I know when I say you can't go wrong with it, it might be a very ambitious statement, because to be honest, I only realized recently that perfumes evolve differently on our bodies. It dries down differently. People smell different things. You could be smelling a sugar bomb and someone else is smelling detergent. So, I totally understand that. But notwithstanding, these are my top 3 perfumes that I think are great crowd pleasers, that I think are safe blind buys, that you're very unlikely to go wrong with. So I'll start with my number 1, Ysl Libre. Ysl Libre. My love. You can see how far I've gone. You can see that I've picked quite some mileage on. So Ysl Libre is an amazing blind buy. Ysl Libre was my very first buy. Look at it. Look at the bottle. Yeah. It was my very first buy when I decided to foray into the world of designer fragrances. Ysl Libre was launched in 2019, and I believe it was created by, if I'm not mistaken, Anne Filippo and Carlos Benaim. My first impression when I saw Ysl Libre was, oh my goodness, it is very strong and overpowering. That was my first impression. However, after about 10 minutes, the dry down began and gave way to one of the most luxurious scents I have ever experienced. Ysl Libre is like a lavender, orange blossom, black currant, jasmine explosion with a hint of would I say, musk, somewhere in between. I also think it has like cedar, Madagascar vanilla, I think is what is in the base notes, if I'm not mistaken. This is not all, but I know that those are the notes that registered when I went through, you know, the notes in this fragrance. But what really hit me with the lavender is quite strong in it. I mean, this perfume, in my opinion, is ideal for a business power dinner where you just want to make a statement. You just want to feel powerful. You just want to, you know, feel powerful but sexy at the same time. You know, this is for like your top partner, managing partner in a consulting firm, you know, a divisional head in a bank, you know, an executive director in a bank, a female who knows what she wants, who is not afraid to be sexy, who understands that you can be sexy and feminine and strong and a boss at the same time. The longevity on Ysl Libre is commendable, I must say. It just keeps giving. When I wear it, it lasts me about 8 hours. I dare say Ysl Libre lasts the entire day without any need to respray. When I say entire day, I would say like an 8-hour day, if you know, if we're looking at it in terms of that. So it's very long lasting, is sophisticated, it gives fierce, untamed, alluring without feeling too feminine, and the dry down is really cozy. That's what I liked about it. It started off a bit, you know, harsh, but it dried down into this cozy, sexy smell. I love it. I love Ysl Libre. Very good experience overall. I'll definitely recommend this for anyone new to fragrances looking for a statement piece. I won't call it an everyday fragrance. Like I said, it's more nighttime, power dinner, nice, I would say formal but sexy outfit, you know, that sort of thing where you want the perfume to speak for you. I'd say go with Ysl Libre. It's nice. One thing though, be careful not to overspray. I also forgot to talk about the bottle. It's a work of art. I love it. I love the gold. I love, you know, the piece. It just looks like something you want to keep, you know, as an art piece, even after using it. So that's it for Ysl Libre. Let me know if you've used it and what your experience was. I mean, like I said earlier, I'm totally aware that our body chemistries react differently with fragrances, but I'm just curious to know if anyone feels the way I do about this perfume. I love it. Ysl Libre, goodbye. All right, so let's go to my second fragrance, and that would be Carolina Herrera, Good Girl. Look at these shoes. Aren't they amazing? Look beautiful. I love. All right, so this is another masterpiece by Carolina Herrera. I'll confess that the first day I tried it, it was a bit, to be honest, I was a bit unimpressed. And I don't know why, because, you know, maybe I'd smelled too much perfume that day. I don't know. But when I smelled it in the shop, it was nice and then it wasn't. So, you know how I tested it, it smelled okay. But by the time I left the shop, I couldn't smell it on me anymore. You know, so I was a bit worried about it, and it was quite pricey, so I was a bit worried that I'd spend this much money for something that wasn't, you know, performing the way I thought. But anyways, I couldn't seem to smell it, and I continued, you know, the second day I tried it, third day, so I used it for about a week, you know, of just consistently using, and I think my nose just eventually picked up the smell, you know. And I must say, this is a must-have. It's a crowd pleaser. Carolina Herrera, Good Girl, crowd pleasing. No, doesn't offend anyone. It's a beautiful smell. Now, there's nothing to dislike for me here. Good Girl seems like the perfect signature scent. So it's not it's just, okay, let me talk about the notes. I mean, Good Girl is about 6 years old, so it's not a new scent per se. Ysl Libre was 2019. Good Girl is 2016, I think. The notes in Good Girl are almond, coffee, bergamot, lemon. I think those are the top notes, and you definitely get the almond notes, that nutty feel of the almond when you first spray it. So it remains dominant even in the dry down, especially the almond and the coffee. The middle notes, you have tuberose, you have jasmine, santac, you have orange blossom, you have the Bulgarian rose, and at the base you have some tonka bean, cacao, vanilla, praline, musk, cashmere wood, patchouli, and cinnamon. You definitely feel the cacao and the vanilla in the dry down. And where do I start? I mean, the packaging is gorgeous. Look at these shoes. Come on now. Amazing. It's so sexy. It's so feminine. I love this scent. Honestly, I love these shoes. The scent is pretty, sexy, girly, without being overly juvenile. So I think any woman of any age can pull this off, to be honest. You don't have to be young, you don't have to be old. You can be any age and pull off Good Girl, Herrera. So what it gives me, the vibe it gives me is drinks with friends on a Friday night, nice ambience. It's a very, very lovely scent. I like it. It's girly, it's feminine. The sweetness leaves you just feeling pretty feminine. And then when it settles, it turns into somewhat, it becomes that somewhat gourmandish thing that wraps you in a cozy haze that makes anyone want to hug you. I know I get a lot of hugs when I wear this set, so yeah. And on my skin, I mean, it definitely picks up the almond, the tonka bean, the coffee, the cacao, and vanilla. So it picks up the foodie notes. Maybe that's why it feels so gourmandish to me. And my husband definitely has mentioned a number of times when I use it that I smell edible. Those were his words. So definitely I know that, this can pass for gourmand. And longevity wise though, I'd give it a 6/10. It's not the most long-lasting scent on me, but what happens is whenever I use it, I then take the bottle around, which is not very convenient, to be honest, because this bottle is quite big. So I have to get a carry-on. I have to sort of just power through the day carrying it along, so I can respray it like a second or third time. However, I don't regret buying this. It's definitely a keeper for anyone who's just starting out with fragrances. I love this fragrance, and I think it's a must-have for anyone just starting out, who doesn't really understand fragrances and is looking for a safe blind buy. I think Herrera Good Girl is fantastic, absolutely amazing. Okay, now for my third fragrance. Oh my god, Ysl Libre, Girl of Now. Oh dear, this is beautiful. I love this bottle. Ysl Libre, Girl of Now. This one was brought to my consciousness by no other than Jeremy Fragrance, whom I love. I love his videos. The first time I sprayed Girl of Now, I bought it the same day I bought the Good Girl, and I sort of felt the same way about both of them. So that's why I feel like maybe on that day I was probably having issues with my nose or something. Definitely it was a bad nose day for me, because I left that place not smelling any of these things. But again, like Good Girl, I used Girl of Now, and I used it for about a week, and then after a week, I don't know, something just happened, and I just, one night, because what I did was I started to wear it to bed, so that I'd see if when I wake up in the morning I'll be able to smell it. And one morning I woke up and I just felt
like I was wrapped in a cotton candy cocoon, if that is even a thing. You know, it's an absolute beauty, I must say. It's safe buy, especially if you're someone who loves sweet smelling perfumes. The top notes in Elisab Good Girl of Now are pistachio, pear, and mandarin orange. The middle notes are almond, orange blossom, magnolia. The base notes are almond milk, tonka bean, patchouli, ever controversial patchouli, and then cashmere. Listen, this perfume makes me feel like dessert. I think that's the word. Dessert. It's just a sugar bomb. Oh my god, I love the sillage. It also has a very good atomizer, so you know, one spray. Oh my god. Oh my, just one spray gives you a lot of quantity. It's amazing, honestly. It's sweet. It's, how would I describe it now? You get very good quantity with the first spray. At first, it almost smells like pistachio ice cream, which I love. But then it dries down into, after about 5-10 minutes, it dries down into this vanilla-ish, almond, cakey feel with a hint of the patchouli and the tonka bean. Honestly, this is a beautiful scent. It's I don't know, it gives me, it just makes me want to love myself, if there's anything like that. It makes me fall in love with myself. It's not necessarily overly memorable in the sense that, I mean, there are other perfumes that smell different, right? So I wouldn't say that this is the most memorable scent, no, but it is. And maybe that's why it's so comforting, you know. It feels so comforting, like you're wrapped in a blanket of sweet smelling nutty ice cream. I love it. Usually when I wear it to bed, I wear to bed on the days I want to feel girly and comfy in bed. I live in West Africa, Nigeria, and the weather is quite hot, you know, but we have a season called Harmattan where the weather is dry and cold, you know. And in the Harmattan season, on the cold days, I think this scent is absolutely amazing. It creates a warm cocoon that I said is comforting. I love it, and it lasts for about 5+ hours. Again, it can be worn by a woman of any age, to be honest. I don't think it's not juvenile. It's not, it can be, I mean, of course, maybe it would be more preferred by slightly younger people, whatever, but I think anyone can wear it, to be honest. I also think it can pass as a signature fragrance if you're a fan of sweet gourmand fragrances. I love the bottle, blue, and is this gold or brown? I just love the detail. It's very nice, so intricate, so beautiful. It's beautiful. It makes you feel beautiful. The bottle, everything is amazing. I don't particularly care for the writing of the Elisab. I feel they could have done a better job of writing that after taking so much time to make a beautiful bottle like this, but nonetheless, I love it. So the pistachio, the almond, the pear trifecta, I think is what really creates that sugar rush, in my opinion. But then it dries down into this creamy gourmand, and I love creamy textures in a perfume, you know. And I can just picture wearing this with a cardigan and some slacks, sensible heels, a scarf around your neck. Amazing. It's beautiful. I think Elisab did a good one with this fragrance. However, if you're not a sugar bomb fan, I like to say, if you're, I call it fragrance keto. So if you're on a fragrance keto diet where you don't like the sugary stuff, I'd say this might not be your jam. I love it though. So I've come to the end. These are my 3 top recommendations for anyone who's just starting a perfume collection or a bit confused as to what to get. You know, one thing these 3 perfumes have in common though is the fact that, you know, they are nicely packaged. I think a lot of time went into the detailing of the bottles, and I like when perfume houses, designer fragrance, you know, I like when they make very intricate looking bottles. I love them. I love that detail. I think it just makes you want to use the perfume. I know there are nicer perfumes that have come in less memorable bottles, but I love when the bottle is nice. It makes you feel very expensive, like you're doing something expensive. I don't know if you feel that way, but that's how I feel when I see nicely packaged perfumes. You know, the bottles are really, really nice, classy. Good blind buys, I'd say, crowd pleasers in my opinion. You really can't go wrong with these perfumes. You won't smell bad, you won't, you know, it's not overpowering in any way, maybe aside from the YSL, but for that I'd say, you know, don't overspray it. You know, I'd love to know your experience. If you've used any of these 3 perfumes or fragrances, did you like them? Are they safe blind buys? If you didn't like them, what put you off? You know, I would love to know. And finally, please subscribe to my channel. It's new, so I want as many subscribers as I can get so we can build a community of people who just love fragrances. So subscribe, like my videos, leave a comment below, and until my next video, have a lovely day and smell good always. Thank you. Bye-bye.